Hey y'all, so quick video where I wanted to talk about, are you prepared for a disaster that happens in your location? So this is kind of spurred on by the fact that there is a major hurricane bearing down on Florida right now. That would be Hurricane Helene, and it's going to bring really major impacts to not only Florida, but Georgia and all the way up into North Carolina. And so there's been a lot of messaging to the people who live in those areas on how to prepare for this type of event. This happens to coincide with National Preparedness Month. And so that would be the month of September, going over, are you prepared for an extreme? Now, the first thing you need to know is what kind of extreme event or disaster can happen in your location. So yeah, I live in Colorado. There's a very low likelihood that I'm going to have to deal with a hurricane or the impacts from a hurricane. So thinking about where I live, some of the extremes that I would want to make sure I'm prepared for are wildfire, flooding, and even winter weather, extreme cold, or major blizzards. And so these are the things that you want to think about based on where you live, is what events do you need to make sure you are prepared for. How do you prepare for these events? My first recommendation is to visit Ready.gov. Ready.gov is a great website to give you all the information you need preparing for a whole variety of events. Now, these events include not just things like natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, those sorts of things, but it can also include things such as a pandemic or active shooter situations or a terrorist act. So it's a very helpful website to go to get some of this information. So when you go to Ready.gov, it's going to give you the whole list of events that they have advice on for preparing for. And they also give you guidance on how to prepare an emergency kit. And you're going to want an emergency kit in your house. They tell you the items that are best suited to have in there. And they also recommend that you prepare an emergency kit for your car. Now, this is especially helpful if you get stranded somewhere in your car due to a disaster event. Now you have the items you need to survive as long as you can, and hopefully, make it out of the event unscathed. So the other thing that it does have is how to prepare a communication and coordination plan with your family. So you can go in and decide what are going to be meeting points. Everybody's on the same page of what they're going to do in the event of a disaster, and also where those emergency kits are located. So this is something that I think everybody should be planning for. We teach kids how to do this in terms of fire drills, but we don't do these types of things as adults, and we really need to make sure that we are prepared in cases of emergencies. And so I hope that those who did not evacuate from Hurricane Helene are going to take that advice of being prepared while staying in place and have the supplies that they need, because they're very likely to not receive help from emergency services for quite some time. And if there's a power outage, they are not going to have access to a lot of their amenities that they normally would. And this is why you want to make sure that you're prepared. And hopefully by the end of the weekend, we'll know a little bit more what's going on with the aftermath of this hurricane, and that the best outcome possible is what happens. And where you live, are you prepared for the next major event that happens? Consider it. Bye.